Police are still looking for the gunman who opened fire on a...
Well, investigators are trying to get to the bottom of who is responsible for such a tragedy.
Police have made a tremendous commitment to solve this case, and they have assigned numerous people.
With a stab through the heart very easily, and that would be a method of which you didn't have to use a gun. And
the daughter of a man murdered is devastated. The killer has been given a stay of execution.
It wasn't really fair where a victim statement has all types of procedural restrictions.
I can't give you more specific detail other than that information about location of body.
Tragic crime unveiled. On the somber afternoon of February 2, 1994, tragedy struck the peaceful streets of Longview as 75-year-old Willard Davis was discovered lying in the street in front of his own home. A single arm-shot wound to the head marked the violent end of Davis's life, compounded by the theft of his car, an additional blow to his dignity and possessions. The swift response of law enforcement led to the apprehension of T.J. Jones, a pivotal figure in the unfolding drama. Jones was found several blocks from the crime scene, having abandoned the victim's car. What made his arrest particularly damning was the discovery of the slaying arm, a .357 revolver, nestled in his sweatshirt pocket. The revolver, fully loaded with one round poised to fire, served as a chilling testament to the crime that had transpired. In the aftermath of his arrest, Jones provided a confession to the police, shedding light on the events leading up to Davis's untimely demise. Jones recounted a grim narrative of alcohol-fueled decision-making and escalating crime. He revealed that he and 3 companions had been drinking at a friend's house when the idea of stealing a car was broached. This ominous proposition, colloquially referred to as a jack, was met with unanimous agreement among the group. Fueled by liquid courage and misguided bravado, Jones and his cohorts embarked on a perilous journey to acquire an arm from their illicit endeavor. Their destination? A known gang house, a den of iniquity where crime lurked in the shadows. Armed with a deadly weapon, Jones and his associates set their sights on a target, and fatefully, it was Willard Davis who crossed their path.
Police are still looking for the gunman who opened fire on...
Well, investigators are trying to get to the bottom of who is responsible for such a tragedy.
Police have made a tremendous commitment to solve this case, and they have assigned numerous people.
He had made very big enemies down there because of being effective at bringing to justice.
But obviously that has to maintain itself as one of the priority motives at this time.
Jones's confession paints a grim tableau of the encounter between him and Davis. Approaching the elderly man as he backed his car out of the driveway, Jones's initial intentions may have been unclear, but the presence of an arm heightened the tension of the encounter. Despite not initially pointing the arm at Davis, the threat of crime loomed large as Jones demanded Davis's compliance. When Davis refused to comply, citing concerns for his wife, Jones's attempt to coerce him into the car escalated into a tragic climax. With an arm pressed to the side of Davis's head, Jones's intentions shifted from theft to coercion, a futile attempt to bend Davis to his will. In a moment of panic and desperation, Jones pulled the trigger, unleashing a torrent of crime that reverberated through the quiet streets of Longview. Jones's claim of intent to scare rather than slay offers little solace in the face of Davis's senseless demise. Regardless of his intentions, Jones's actions resulted in the irrevocable loss of life, leaving a void in the community and a family shattered by grief. The tragedy serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of impulsive actions fueled by alcohol and misguided ambition. As the wheels of justice begin to turn, the community of Longview grapples with the aftermath of such senseless crime. In the wake of Davis's demise, questions linger about the prevalence of crime and the root causes of such heinous acts. Yet, amidst the darkness, there remains a glimmer of hope, a hope for justice, for healing, and for a community united in the face of adversity. Trial of tragedy. The courtroom became a stage for the unfolding drama surrounding the tragic demise of Willard Davis, as expert witnesses, testimonies, and forensic evidence painted a vivid picture of the events leading up to the fateful incident. The testimony of the medical examiner served as a grim reminder of the brutality of Davis's demise. With clinical precision, the examiner detailed the fatal trajectory of the bullet, which had entered near the center of Davis's forehead next to his left eyebrow. This stark description underscored the deliberate and calculated nature of the act, leaving no room for doubt regarding the intent behind the arm shot wound. The testimony of the arm expert further solidified the prosecution's case against T.J. Jones. With unwavering certainty, the expert declared that the arm could not have been fired accidentally. It required the deliberate action of pulling the trigger. This revelation dismantled any defense claiming accidental discharge, firmly establishing Jones' culpability in the crime. Forensic evidence provided additional insights into the dynamics of the fatal encounter. By analyzing the distance between Jones and Davis at the time of the slaying, forensic experts concluded that Jones had been in close proximity to his victim, standing a mere 2 to 3 feet away when the fatal shot was fired. This revelation dispelled any notion of spontaneous crime, revealing a calculated and premeditated act.
With a stab through the heart very easily, and that would be a method of which you didn't have to use a gun. And
Police released surveillance video after a man is shot and killed.
Daughter of a man murdered is devastated. The killer has been given a stay of execution.
His attorneys are asking for a stay in his execution to allow time for the competency trial.
I can't give you more specific detail other than that information about location of body.
The testimony of Jones's cellmate shed light on the chilling details of the crime. Recounting a conversation with Jones, the cellmate revealed Jones's cold admission of the events leading up to Davis's demise. With chilling calmness, Jones confessed to approaching Davis and his accomplices, escalating the confrontation until it reached its tragic climax. This first-hand account provided a haunting glimpse into the mind of a remorseless perpetrator. Jones's mother's testimony offered a glimpse into the troubled past that may have contributed to her son's descent into criminality. Recalling her son's troubled adolescence and his association with a gang house from a young age, she painted a portrait of a troubled youth caught in the grip of societal decay. In his defense, Jones adamantly denied any affiliation with a gang, presenting the testimony of Heather McLean, the mother of his child, to support his claims. McLean's testimony sought to humanize Jones, portraying him as a devoted partner and father rather than a hardened criminal. However, her testimony failed to fully exonerate Jones, leaving lingering doubts about his true intentions and allegiances. The testimony of clinical and forensic psychologist Tom Allen offered a sobering assessment of Jones's future prospects. Drawing on Jones's criminal history, propensity for crime, lack of education and job skills, and drug use, Allen painted a bleak picture of a man destined for a life of crime. His assessment underscored the urgent need for intervention and rehabilitation to prevent further acts of crime. As the courtroom drama unfolded, the tragic demise of Willard Davis serves as a sobering reminder of the consequences of unchecked crime and criminality. Through expert testimony, forensic evidence, and personal accounts, the truth behind Davis's demise slowly emerged, revealing a web of crime, desperation, and societal neglect. In the pursuit of justice, the courtroom became a battleground where truth clashed with deceit, and the fate of a community hung in the balance. Jones's psychological evaluation. In T.J. Jones's defense, Craig Moore, a clinical psychologist, took the stand to offer insights into Jones's psychological profile. Moore's assessment painted a complex picture of Jones, highlighting both his vulnerabilities and potential risks to society. According to Moore's evaluation, Jones exhibited signs of below-average intelligence but was not considered intellectually disabled. However, he displayed profound immaturity, characterized by emotional neediness and dependency on others. Additionally, Moore identified a conduct disorder in Jones, indicating a failure to adhere to societal rules and norms. One of the most alarming conclusions drawn by Moore was Jones's distinct propensity for future risks to society. This assessment underscored concerns about Jones's potential for future criminal behavior, casting a shadow of doubt over his rehabilitation prospects. However, Moore emphasized that at 17 years old, Jones was still in the process of psychological development, making long-term predictions about his behavior uncertain. Moore delved into Jones's upbringing, highlighting the impact of being raised in a one-person household and his strained relationship with his mother.
It wasn't really fair where a victim statement has all types of procedural restrictions.
Give the victim a presence in the court and the justice system, a voice, a face.
Use anything, and he would basically, he showed me with his own hand of how you would do that.
Essentially, there was an early period where the court really took a hard look at the statutes.
He suggested that Jones's failure to bond with his mother had profound psychological ramifications, contributing to his emotional instability and behavioral issues. Jones's use of marijuana laced with embalming fluid emerged as another significant factor in Moore's evaluation. Moore argued that this substance misuse could have led to brain damage, particularly affecting areas of the brain responsible for judgment and reasoning. This revelation shed light on Jones's cognitive impairments, further complicating his psychological profile. In addition to psychological assessments, personal testimonies provided valuable insights into Jones's upbringing and behavior. Pamela Jones, T.J. Jones's mother, revealed the tumultuous nature of their family dynamics, including her failed relationships and arguments witnessed by her son. She described Jones's emotional distress during these conflicts, suggesting a sensitive and vulnerable side to his personality. Pamela Jones's testimony also highlighted financial struggles within the family, such as their inability to afford extracurricular activities like gymnastics for TJ. This deprivation of opportunities for personal development may have contributed to Jones's sense of frustration and disillusionment. Will Jackson Jr., Jones's grandfather, provided further context by characterizing Jones as a follower. This description hinted at Jones' susceptibility to external influences and peer pressure, painting a picture of a young man struggling to find his identity amidst turbulent surroundings. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.